one of the coolest things about that whole thing was nothing was planned except for meeting at Mark Briscoe's farm. And it really showed our camaraderie. It really showed how close we all really are in real life. That once we got there, we kind of got the cameras rolling, and that is what happened.
I'm a huge fan. Your work in AEW, your whole faction, really spectacular stuff. I really enjoyed it.
Let's roll. We got to stay on time.
All right, man. Before we get into Double or Nothing, earlier this year, you stole Paul Walter Hauser's Golden Globe.
Whoa. Time out. Time out. Okay, so Paul Walter Hauser disrespected us, and we got back, and we didn't steal anything. In fact, if Paul Walter Hauser wants his Golden Globe, he can come and get it. It's not stolen. We're just holding it. So I think you were starting us off on the wrong foot here. We didn't steal anything.
Safekeeping, Mr. His name's Walter Hausen, right? Hausen.
S-E-R.
S-E-N.
Hauser.
Hauser. Well, it doesn't matter. He's really unknown in the acting world, but he's a nice guy. But we do have his piece of hardware, in safekeeping. So.
All right. Well, I apologize for using the word stole. That was inappropriate. Jeff, maybe you deserve that Golden Globe for Spring Breakers. You were in that movie like 10 years ago. How did that come about?
Oh, ain't he great? Yeah.
It's kind of bizarre it literally came out of nowhere. Val Kilmer originally had the spot, and he had to go shoot something, do another movie. And the casting director, she was actually talking to her son, who they kind of said, hey, we're kind of looking for kind of this youth pastor, but we need to kind of have a professional wrestling tone. And my buddy said, I got it. So they sent me, emailed me. I was sitting at my desk. I responded. And John, it took about 30 minutes. They sent me a read. I don't know if you remember a guy named Danny Engler, Rudy Charles. Mm-hmm. He was working in the office. He's a wrestler, a referee, obviously referees for WWE right now. I said, come in here. We went into a conference room. He held the camera up. I did a quick screen test, sent it back to him. In less than an hour, they said, here's the dates. Can you be there? So went down to St. Petersburg and shot that. But it was a pretty cool deal. I got to tell not just Karen, but my kids, hey, I'm going to be in a movie with Vanessa Hudgens and Selena Gomez. And they're all excited until the movie came out. Hey, kids, you can't watch the movie.
It was almost a snowball effect, because they almost casted Jeff to be Batman, but again, Val Kilmer, he couldn't make it, but then he came back and said, I can do it.
There you go. See, here's your inside scoop, John. Next thing you know, we're going to all be singing With My Baby Tonight.
Well, at Double or Nothing, Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, you're challenging for the World Tag Team titles against FTR. Mark Briscoe is your special referee. With that, do you feel like you've got the edge to bring those titles home finally?
We have the edge, or I have the edge, because Jay's my partner. Sanjay's in our corner. Karen's going to be there, bring the emotion. Satnam's there to make sure there's no outside interference. It's just going to be between the four of us, me, Jay, Dax Cash. And when you line us up and you weigh the abilities, there's absolutely nothing they can do that we can't do. And me and Jay, there's many things we can do that they can't hold a candle to us. They claim to be the best tag team in the world. That's really a lie. It's not accurate at all. So they'll find out Sunday.
Yeah. And it seems, I hope you're the only one out there thinking this, but just the way you kind of laid that question out, as if like Mark Briscoe is going to be a factor for us. I don't know. It was a weird way you worded it. Yeah. And Jeff said it right. Mark Briscoe is not a factor in this match. Sure, he's my best. He's been my friend for over 20 years, but he's not a factor in the match. When it boils down to it, the tag team match is me and Jeff against FTR. And little known fact here, since you're the journalist, you should look into this. Jeff Jarrett and I have been together longer than FTR have been together. Jeff Jarrett and I have been together. Our in-ring chemistry started in about 2006. Mm-hmm. So to me, when you put us down on paper, this is a no-lose for Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. We're going to become the brand new AEW Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, I know. You guys go back to TNA.
Oh, yeah.
We go back to Wayne, New Jersey, and a small independent promotion. So if we want to go back, now, me and Jay literally have, been buds for 20 years.
Well, you guys visited Mark Briscoe's farm a few weeks ago, one of the best segments in AEW history. I need you to tell me a little bit about shooting that, because it was absolutely hilarious.
Well, I'd tell you one of my favorite parts about it, we'll give you a little behind the curtain here. Most of the time in professional wrestling, once that camera rolls for any kind of, scene that's not taking place in the wrestling ring, there's sometimes, as you know in wrestling, there's writers. Some people write stuff, but no one sat down at a table and said, Jeff Jarrett's going to say this. And then Mark Briscoe opens the door and Mark has the baby. And one of the coolest things about that whole thing was nothing was planned except for meeting at Mark Briscoe's farm. And it really showed our camaraderie. It really showed how close we all really are in real life, that once we got there, we kind of got the cameras rolling, and that is what happened. So to me, that was the coolest part about it. This wasn't something that people sat in a room and, wrote on paper and then scribbled, no, that'll never work. And then they changed this. Man, it wasn't like that at all. We just had free roam to just do whatever we wanted. And like I said, I personally believe that I shared the sentiment as you. It's one of the best things I've seen on TV in a long time.
It goes without saying, you can even turn a little slight mistake. I mistaken the little rugrat, the little baby, to be I still don't know, is it a boy or a girl?
It's Murph's a boy.
Murph's a boy. So I called it Murph a girl. Look, it's a simple mistake. Jay got tickled on that. Look, but we cut grass, we fished, we cleaned up the farm. I'm looking forward to going back. Karen and Tottenham are probably going to cook when we go down. Mark has like 7 kids. So we're thinking about, who knows what we'll cook up down there. But I don't think that's going to be our last visit. I'm just hoping he has name tags or puts the boys in blue and the girls in pink or something along those lines, because Jay embarrassed me by laughing at me. But
I definitely think.
I'm kidding, John. I'm totally kidding, John.
I definitely think that another trip to the farm is definitely in the future.
Well, I'm glad you brought up that whole thing was improv. That's one of the reasons why I love wrestling. I cover movies and TV, but no actor can improv and just come up with stuff the way wrestlers can. It's you guys, the way you guys create magic is just unbelievable. It's why I've always loved the art form.
Well, I thank you. And I don't know if you know what's going on in the world right now, but most of the writers for almost every television show, they're all on strike.
I know.
So on the rise, what's going to really excel right now is reality television. And what's at the top of reality television? Professional wrestling.
Gotcha. Of course. And, in August, obviously, AEW is doing All In Wembley Stadium, over 65,000 tickets already sold. You both wrestled in huge venues, huge events in your careers, but how special is All In Wembley for you?
It's magical. Yes. I've wrestled in every, I think pretty much I was a part of the last match in the old Boston Garden to kind of take it in your backyard.
I was there.
No way. Okay. So
Yeah.
the old Boston Garden, the new Boston Garden, Madison Square Garden, O2, just all around the globe. But I never, in my wildest dreams, I watched SummerSlam 92. I've been in the business about 5 or 6 years, but just being in that stadium. So now here we are, 31 years later, for having the opportunity, Wembley 100, the hottest brand in professional wrestling. You've already kind of said the ticket count, and that's without a match, without a name being advertised. It is super, super, and I've said this, it is really it's hard for me to put into words, but I can't think of a bigger statement or a bigger event in professional wrestling. It's got to go back a long time because, yes, there's pay-per-views and there's big events. And, they were just in Cardiff, WWE, where that was a big, big event. They were in Puerto Rico. We did Arthur Ashe Stadium for the first time a couple of years ago. But Wembley 100 on the 100th anniversary. London is such a magical city to begin with. It is such a statement, not just for AEW, but and not just for professional wrestling. I really think it's a pop cultural statement that professional wrestling is going to be held in Wembley Stadium with these kind of numbers.
Well, listen, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to let you guys go. I know you've got a busy day and a show tonight. I know you guys are going to tear the house down at Double or Nothing. I really am rooting for you. I want to see you guys take those titles.